In the third and final part of our Congo series, investigative journalist Wayne Madsen discusses the mineral wealth this embattled country has, and in the light of the incoming Obama administration, what the future may hold for Congo as Western powers vie for their piece of the pie. Here's part 3.
Israel's been a very big player in supporting these client states, also allied to the United States, Museveni in Uganda and Kagame in Rwanda. Israel is providing a lot of military assistance to Kagame. Israeli firms are very active in exploiting the resources of eastern Congo, where Kagame's forces are prevalent. We see a lot of Israeli involvement in that. One of the natural resources, of course, that's highly sought after are diamonds, and a lot of these blood diamonds eventually wind up in the hands of Israeli diamond merchants, which are basically run out of Tel Aviv. What's happened in Congo is a proxy war. These various rebel groups are getting aid and comfort and support from other powers, both in the area like Rwanda and Uganda, but also outside the area from countries like the United States, Britain, Israel, and China. It's not a question of tribes. This whole thing has been popularized by Hollywood in a very pejorative way. Africa, of course, is a polyglot of ethnic groups, but in many cases what we're seeing are coalitions being formed between various groups aimed at securing influence and making power grabs. So in the case of eastern Congo, we've got not only Tutsis from Rwanda and Congo united, but some other groups have been allied with these two groups to battle the central government. The stakes are huge. Coltan, of course, is a key element, resource, and all these miniature electronic devices, PDAs like BlackBerries, cell phones. Microsoft has a tremendous stake in these devices. There's a lot of outside influence at stake with the steady supply of these materials to these factories. Let's just look at oil alone. There's not going to be any move away from carbon-based fuels. So, whoever has access to the oil, that's a tremendous boost in their industrial engine and their influence. So oil is a big factor in Africa, but also let's look at gold. Gold, especially now with the global financial meltdown, whoever has gold has something to back its currency, so there's this big grab for gold, especially in Congo, which has estimated to have huge gold reserves. Diamonds as well, platinum, and the one that, of course, Bush erroneously used as a reason to go into Iraq is uranium. Congo is very rich in uranium deposits. Niger, where Bush said Saddam Hussein was trying to get uranium from there, that's not true because Niger has a very strong mechanism to protect its exports from falling into the wrong hands. That's not the case with Congo. So Congo has tremendous stakes there for any country that is trying to obtain nuclear weapons. Unfortunately, what we're seeing, not only from the warfare itself, but from the famine that has resulted from the warfare, the disease that's resulted from the warfare, we've seen about 5.5 million people die in Congo since 1994. Now, that also includes refugees from the neighboring countries of Rwanda and Burundi that have been forced to flee into Congo. If 5.5 million dead Africans is not an earth-shattering number, 6 million died in the Holocaust, and we call that a Holocaust, we call that a genocide, but we hear very little about the Congolese genocide, the Congolese Holocaust, probably because the United States has been very culpable in that Holocaust, along with countries like Britain, Belgium, and ironically Israel. I was hoping that one way for Africa to get out of this current dilemma, this predicament, would be that our first true African-American president, because Barack Obama's father was from Kenya. I was hoping that the Obama administration would really change U.S. policy towards Africa, bring in a whole new set of people with a different way of looking at Africa's problems. But unfortunately, his selection of Susan Rice, who's a supporter of some of these client dictators who have been responsible for some of the worst genocide we've seen since World War II, Susan Rice going to the UN sends the wrong message, and I fear that there are other people associated with the Clinton administration who are like Rice, support these petty dictators, are going to come into the Obama administration. So I'm fearful that with Obama, for Africa anyway, there will be no change. It will be business as usual.
There are times when reality just asserts itself. In spite of the haze created by television news and entertainment, sometimes crisis rips a tear in the fabric of myth and propaganda. Now a profound economic crisis has ripped asunder the American dream itself. millions of people losing jobs and homes. They lack proper health care and any real sense of security. Since 2001, workers' wages have fallen or remained stagnant, even though worker productivity has risen almost 33%. By 2006, the top 1% of households were receiving 23% of all pre-tax income, more than double what it was in the 1970s. It's the greatest concentration of income since 1928. As unemployment rises, we need to know why this crisis is happening and what we can do to defend ourselves. Why are wages so low? Why is the society so laden with debt? Is it in ordinary Americans' interest to have a $1 trillion military budget to project power across the globe? Corporate television news won't ask these questions, let alone try to find answers. Only a truly independent news network can tackle these questions with courage and with ordinary people's interests in mind. We need a news network that's independent of corporations, governments, and political parties. We need the real news. But there won't be a real news network unless we raise substantial funds right away. The current financial crisis has hit our funding hard. Together, we do have the power to turn it around. There are already hundreds of thousands of people watching the real news every month. If everyone pitches in, we can build an internet and cable television network that will change the face of media forever. You can organize house parties, talk to friends at school and at work, send email blasts and spread the word. Distribute this video to everyone you know. Pick up the phone and call a few friends and suggest they visit therealnews.com. Invest just 10 minutes a day to ask friends and colleagues to join the campaign to create a truly independent source of internet and television news. Together, we can build this network. Just 50,000 people at $10 a month gets us to our first level of sustainability. You can help us reach this goal, and when we do, we'll move to television in millions of homes across North America. Help us reach an audience in the millions. Please contribute generously. Spread the word. Let's make the Real News television network a reality.
Your tax-deductible donation makes it possible. Please contribute at therealnews.com.